Hey guys, welcome to the first patch update video for ChiliJack. In this video today, I just want to go through some of the changes that are coming to ChiliJack, as well as the all new really fun and cool updates that you can expect to see in the ChiliJack tabletop simulator mode. So without further ado, let's just go straight into the video. Right now, first of all, the biggest thing I want to talk about is the chili type. Chili types, every chili in the game can basically be put into 5 different chili types: normal, animal, food, tech, and object. So you can see how the chili egg, for example, is an animal, and the chili treasure chest is an object. These help me create hooks and interesting design space avenues for abilities and new chilies basically that I can attach onto, and I think it's going to be a really fun way to do it. So I'm just going to show you a quick example of a chili that does utilize the chili tags. When grilled, reveal the top 3 chilies from the deck and summon all animal chilies revealed onto your plate. So the wild chili cat, for example, will look for other wild animals and summon them onto your plate. And another example is the hobo chili. When grilled, trash the top 4 chilies of the deck, draw all object chilies trashed. And abilities like this are really not only fun, but also thematic, and it makes sense that the hobo would be searching for objects in the trash. And it just makes certain chilies be able to do more things than not just like one. And I'm really excited for these new changes. This is the distribution of all the chilies and the types in the game. You have normals be the far more common ones, but the objects, text, food, and animals are still taking up a large chunk of each of the pie. So keep in mind when you're using these abilities as you're searching for certain animals or certain foods that this kind of proportion is taking in place. Next up is the kind of officialization of the classic mode of playing ChiliJack, and it's a classic. Before, we used to shuffle 120 cards and use that as the main portal where you can summon chilies and draw them from. But now I'm going to actually be making it so that you're only shuffling 30 cards and you're playing a best of 3 with your friends. And these 30 cards are basically be creating metas within when you play the game. It's like a really interesting and fun way to kind of have predictability and bluffing be something that's a lot more manageable than complete randomness before. And the first 2 games when you play, you're going to be able to learn what chilies are in your pool of 30 cards and pretend that there's going to be, for example, Fibonacci chili here, we have a really powerful ability. When dining, if your 5 chilies have exactly 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, you win the game. So if your friend is using this card to try to win and you come across the chili dragon, you can play the chili dragon to try to counter the friend's strategy. But then the second game, you're going to be able to actually pick up chili knight to counter the chili dragon. So there's this like rock paper scissors that could happen within that like deck of 30 cards, and it creates a really interesting meta strategy. And every time you play, it's going to feel like a new game. It's going to be very fresh. So I'm really excited for the classic mode being the new way to play the game. Next up, we have the new dish of the days. And if you guys have been playing for the past couple of weeks, you may already have seen this. It's not new, but still want to talk about it. Basically, before, all the dish of the days used to do stuff at the start of the game. But now, certain dishes are going to be using those abilities right before the game ends, before we go into the dining phase. And it creates really interesting and intense options for players to build up their plates, and overall makes the game more replayable and enjoyable. So for example, the spicy tuna onigiri says, before the dining phase, each player summons the top chili from the deck onto their plates until their plates are full. So this strategy favors the player who is able to fill up their plates as soon as they can, to try to force their opponents to have random chilies on their plate, and sometimes try to overheat them and basically rush to the end here. Some other examples, we have the high stakes burger. Before the dining phase, trash the hottest chili in play. If multiple chilies tie as hottest, trash them all. So you can have this kind of like a really cool mind game with your opponent. Is your chili going to be the hottest and it's going to get trashed, or is mine going to get trashed? So more example, mystery chicken. I love this one. Imagine playing blackjack, but you don't know what number you're trying to go towards. You have 20 as this like basic area, but sometimes you're going to go way up higher into the 30s. Sometimes you might even get a negative and go down. So The goal is to try to build a flexible plate of dining chilies that allow you to have different heat, and I think this is going to be a really fun way to play. And then finally we have the thick tamales, where it says before the dining phase, player with the mildest plate reveal the top 2 chilies from the deck to merge them with any of your chilies. So basically, if you're behind, this is like there to kind of catch you up and hopefully try to match you against your opponent. But if you're really close to your opponent and you guys both finish ending the game, you're gonna have like these 2 chilies that come in and suddenly you might overheat from it. So again, there's this mind games, and it just makes it really interesting to play towards the end of the game. So those are the dish of the day changes. And here are the new chilies coming into the game. We have the ChiliGator. When grilled, chew the chili on your plate and trash it. If it's an animal chili, merge it with this chili instead. Again, going into the tribe synergy here, we have animal synergies where you can trash stuff, but if you don't want to trash anything, you could simply just merge this with an animal to keep that heat. You have this really cute stray chili cat. When trashed, if you have an animal chili on your plate, put this chili onto your plate. So getting a free summon, getting a free body onto your plate is very powerful, but it only works if you have other animals on your plate. So if you know that you have the stray chili cat in the game, maybe consider putting an animal or 2 on your plate so that you can get an advantage of the free stray chili cat summon. Finally, we have the minor chili here. When grilled, trash the top 3 chilies of the deck, then put the mildest object chili trashed onto your plate. So this is great if you're trying to look for that ruby chili or other chilies that want to be on the plate first before you trash them. Minor chili is going to be able to help you basically get another plate chili on your plate for free, but you have to keep track of what chilies are in the discard pile, what chilies are still in the deck, and yada yada. So those are the new chilies. I want to quickly go through all the chili changes. The merge chilies with the chili slime and gilly chili. Merge is basically a keyword. I know you already saw it on the ChiliGator, but we're pushing the merge keyword a lot more on abilities, and I think it's a really healthy way to add more heat or change the heat without putting things onto your plate directly. And we have the food chilies. These aren't too new, but in case you haven't seen them, they basically merge with chilies to add their heat. So it's like when you're eating something. You have the 1, 2, and 3 with the chili donut, toast, and chili, chocolate chili. They're like the basic ones that you can have the option. You may merge this with your mildest chili if you want to add some heat. Boba chili is a -3 heat. If you wanted to actually take away some heat, you can actually drink the boba. Or you have the huge bomb chili changa, which adds 10 heat. So if you merge this with if you're really low on heat and your opponent is like about to finish ending the game, this could be coming in really handy. And speaking of food, diving into the food synergies here, we have the Chef Chili Rework. When grilled, choose any chili in play and reveal the top 5 chilies of the deck and merge all food chilies with it, trash the rest. So you could actually overfeed your opponent or feed yourself if you know that there are chilies on the top of your deck. And then extra large chili. When grilled, merge all food chilies in everyone's hands with this chili. Then place the chili onto your plate sideways so that it takes up 2 slots. So the second half of that ability is the same, but now it also steals everyone's food, and it's just like thematically really satisfying, and you might end up like super overheating yourself, and that's the risk of playing the extra large chili. This is also not too new, but in case you haven't played in the last 2 months, maybe it is. Yeah, freeze chilies are getting these optional abilities to be able to fix the things in your plate. So Ice Elf and Chili Cloud trash the hottest and mildest chili on your plate for free, basically, when you freeze them. But you're going to have one less draw because you're going to be drawing them back. But yeah, they come as very free abilities that you can use outside of the grilling phase. Then you have the Frostmancer and the Chili. They do the same thing as Ice Elf and Chili Cloud, except it also summons 1 chili onto your plate, which means that you're going to be able to actually replace the thing that you just trashed and hopefully try to get something better. So yeah, these are flexible abilities, not necessarily positive all the time, and if you don't need it, you could just trash it away. So yeah, I think it's really cool. We have the Chili Treasure Chest and the Chili Key. Saying that 10 times is difficult. The updates. So they now synergize with each other better, and it's easier to activate them. You could just have both of these on your plate towards the end of the game and it will still activate. But basically, Chili Treasure Chest, you can now trash it with a chili and you'll be able to draw 7 chilies at any time. And usually if it's not at the end of the game, you'll just draw 7 and then you can throw them away and keep the ones that you want to get. So they're still very valuable. But if you actually end up doing it with the chili key at the end of the game, you can then swap with the 7 while you're dining, which is a very, very powerful ability to be able to do so. And if you're looking for these 2 combos and in your deck of 30 cards, even getting that in your deck is going to be a very low chance that they're going to be there in the deck together. But if you do have them, then Chili Miner, Chili Hobo, these are going to be great ways to actually get these items into your hand and into your plate so you can get the combo off. We have the art update to 8-bit chili, and from here on out, it's just going to be going through all the chilies and minor updates and reworks and things like that. I'll just be highlighting them. The 8-bit chili got a visual update, so everything looks very crisp and 8-bitty. The Almighty Chili might be a new one for you if you haven't seen it in the last month. When grilled, if you're the only owner of the mildest chili in play, trash an opponent's hottest chili on your plate. So in order to actually effectively use this ability, you need to have a mild chili, and it has to be the mildest in the entire game on your plate. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very powerful removal that requires you to be able to protect the small guys. We have the buff chili rework. When grilled, merge the mildest chili on your plate with an opponent's chili on their plate. So you could actually give off your mildest chili to your opponent and merge it with something else that's on their plate to try to buff them up, or sometimes, you know, actually lower down their heat. We have the cello chili, which is 2 heat. When grilled, reveal the top 2 chilies of the deck and merge one of them with this chili, then trash the other. So this one lets you improvise. You get the option of looking at 2, and you can choose which one of the heats that you like onto your plate directly. We have the Chaos Chili. Now, the Chaos Chili, the ability of Chaos Chili before was that it was changing the dish of the day. But we removed that ability to change the dish of the day because changing that at the end of the game felt too powerful, and it felt like it didn't really matter. And there was like a lot of just like weird interactions. So we're giving the cosmic abilities old ability to the Chaos Chili, but we're nerfing it a little bit so that this doesn't feel like it's just making the whole game feel like a new game basically when you play it. When grilled, take 5 hottest chilies and you shuffle them and you put it onto players' plates. So you're not doing it to every chili, you're just doing it the top 5. And it's still going to be a big enough change so that you can try to control your fate a little bit, but it's not going to, you know, swap those goats and things like that. So yeah. Chili chess set got a rework. When dining, if the heat of the chili to the left is equal to the heat of the chili to the right, gain that same heat. So if you have a 3 on the left and a 3 on the right, chili chess set becomes a 3. And it's very flexible, but you get to choose what kind of heat you want. And you're going to be building that plate to try to utilize this ability. And yeah, overall, just really flexible, but also requires you to think a little bit. You have the chili coin. When grilled, choose an opponent and reveal the top chili of the deck. If its heat is odd, summon it onto their plate. If it's even, summon it onto yours instead. We're just going to go through some of these. Chili dating app. This is a tech chili. When grilled, merge an opponent's mildest chili on their plate with the hottest chili on your plate. So you're going to kind of yoink their mildest chili and then merge it with the hottest chili. I love this ability because it like thematically is matching those 2 chilies together and bringing them together. It's like a removal from your opponent's side, which could be interesting. Chili Gambit got a little bit of a nerf. Trash a chili on your plate to summon 1 chili onto your plate. That section is the same, but it says if the summoned chili is milder than your trash chili, draw 4 chilies. So it no longer summons you a second one, because summoning a second one wasn't necessarily always a good thing, but drawing 4 chilies is always a good thing. So if you do summon something that's milder than the thing that you trashed, you get rewarded with draw 4, which is going to be still arguably even more powerful than the previous version. We have this new chili called the Chili Greatsword. When grilled, trash a chili on your plate, then merge this chili with a chili on your plate. So this is going to be flexible in that it gets rid of something on your plate for you, and then you could then equip this sword onto one of your chilies so that it becomes huge. I think it is thematically just really cool. Yeah, we have the Chili Hero. When grilled, trash all chilies on your plate that are milder than this chili. So this is going to be able to clean up the rest of your plate. If you have a lot of negatives that you don't want, or like 1s and 2s, and you want to slow the game down, you could actually throw this down and kind of reset your plate. We have the Chili of Fate here, 3 heat. When grilled, randomly trash all chilies from your hand except 1, then put it onto your plate. So being able to summon anything on your hand is very, very powerful, but you're doing it kind of at a 1 in a 3 chance, and you're gonna have to trash the rest of the things, so you can't keep them. So yeah, you might have a really good chili in your hand that you want to get summoned while you also want this as a body, but you risk potentially summoning the other 2 things that you might not have wanted. So that if that's the risk that you want to take, then you play the Chili of Fate and you roll the dice. We have the Chili Seedling here. It's a 3 heat. When dining, if you have a trash chili and a freeze chili, give this chili plus 10. So this is potentially a 13 hit chili, which is very, very strong, but it requires you to have a trash and a freeze chili on the plate. So it's going to be obviously very difficult to have those 2 conditions meet. But if you do, and you do end up getting this 13 heat, there's a large chance that you're going to be able to potentially beat any tiebreakers against your opponent if you end up tying with your opponent. So overall, yeah, I think this is like a really fun and interesting win condition to try to go for. We have the Chili Space Station. When dining, summon chilies from the top of your deck onto your plate until it's full. So this one is exactly like that Spicy Tuna Onigiri, where if you have this on your plate, you're going to be summoning random chilies at the end of the game, as long as your plate's not full, which is very dangerous because this is already 12 heat. So the goal is to try to put this down and then have a lot of small tiny chilies so that you don't summon those like random chilies. But yeah, if you end up somehow playing this and then not filling up your board as fast as you can, you potentially are running into the risk of summoning random stuff. Next up, we have the Chili Wall, probably one of the most annoying chilies in the game. When grilled, chilies milder than this chili can't activate their grill abilities this turn. So any lower heat chilies on the grill than this one are going to be just fizzling basically, and you can really annoy your friends from playing the Chili Apprentice or something like that they were really looking for, the Chili Charger. Just stop them with this Chili Wall. We have the Farmer Chili, buff to the Farmer Chili. When grilled, draw 4 chilies if you have an animal chili or 10 or more total on your plate. So before it used to be just the 10 or more total, but now it also checks to see if you have an animal or not. So another just incentive to try to play some animals and try to reap the benefits of the reward by playing some farmer afterwards. We have an habanero rework. So now habanero are 5 heat. When dining, if you have another animal chili, give this chili plus 5. Yeah, thematically, it just made sense to have haba be getting extra 5 heat, basically doubling in heat if you have an animal on your plate. So yeah, and if you don't want that extra 5, you can just take away the animal and it would not do it. So yeah, really cool. We have the chickili. When grilled, place 3 or milder chili or an animal chili from your hand onto your plate. So even more animal tribe synergies where you can try to summon chilies. Well, I still wanted to make sure that it's not a specifically animal only, so you can still pair this with other lower heat chilies. We have a Secret Agent C, previously known as Mr. C. When grilled, put an opponent's tech chili on a plate onto yours, and then activate its grill ability. So there's only 9 tech chilies in the game, but they have pretty powerful grill abilities, and playing the Secret Agent basically swipes their tech chili and puts it onto yours, and you get to use their grill ability. So this is a really powerful ability, but it's very low on heat, and you need to first even meet the condition that the opponent even has a tech chili on their plate. But in the games where they do, Secret Agent C is going to come in really, really handy, and this is going to be one of the very powerful chilies to activate those abilities. We have the Chill EMP. This is a tech chili. When dining, trash all other dining chilies and tech chilies on your plate. So if you have any tech chilies like the Chili Space Station or the Chili dating app, the Chill EMP is just going to blow everything up. None of that nonsense. You have the Dizzy Chili Slide buff. When grilled, swap this chili with a random chili in an opponent's hand and activate its grill ability twice. So now there's actually an incentive for you to play this chili because you might want to get a random grill ability twice. And if you use this and you give it to your opponent can do the same thing next turn. So it's just like a really good hot potato that you can toss back and forth between you and your opponent. I think sometimes it's going to lead to a really funny scenario, so we'll see how this goes. We have the Cosmic Chili update. So with the new Merge Chili keyword being a prominent keyword that I wanted to use, this made perfect sense. When grilled, merge each player's mildest chilies from their plates with this chili. So you play this down and you're going to be merging everybody's mildest chilies into this chili. So it starts off at 12, but if you have more players, it's going to potentially go into even the negatives because sometimes players have really mild chilies on their plates. We have a fun cursed chili update here. When trashed, merge this chili with the hottest chili on your plate. So this is not a May ability. If you find this in your hand, you're kind of cursed. And that's like the whole point of curse, right? So you can't get rid of it. So you could freeze this and you could keep freezing it every turn and make yourself draw one less card, or accept your fate, merge this with the hottest chili on your plate and get that negative. But there are ways to get rid of merged chilies, like this holy chili right here. When grilled, choose a chili on any plate and remove all merged chilies on it. Then its owner draws 3 chilies. So even if you don't have any merged chilies, you can still use this on yourself and draw 3 as like a default. But if you, let's say, have an opponent who ate a bunch of food chilies, like the extra large, and they're just like stuffed, you can use the holy chili to basically cleanse all the merged chilies from it. But then if you do so, then the opponent's gonna have to draw 3 cards. So yeah, do what you will do with that information. We have the Da Vinci update here. When dining, for each unique chili type on your plate, gain 3 heat. Yeah, and this one itself is normal, and it's counting all the other chilies on your plate. You can only have one of the others on your plate. So basically, if you have another one active, you're gonna get +3 from it. And this just made more sense. Before it was looking for the other chili ability types, but there were only 3 other colors. So this kind of just fit perfectly with the 4 other chili types being in the game. And also it's differentiating itself away from the divine chili a little bit now, because the divine chili cares about the chili's ability type, and the Da Vinci cares about the chili's type specifically. We have the Kim chili update. When grilled, force the hottest chili on an opponent's plate to activate its grill ability. So 9 heat is a lot of heat, but if you play this and you want that high heat, you're gonna have to force an opponent to use their grill ability. The hotter the chili is, usually it's more like a self-deprecating kind of ability. So if you see an opponent have a really hot chili, you can actually use this to try to force them to play it, like the chili fint that makes them trash 2 chilies on their plate. We have the new paint chili. Basically, this chili has every ability type. When grilled, trashed, frozen, or dining, draw 1 chili. So you can play this at any time and draw 1. You can freeze it and you keep drawing 1. There's the versatility with this chili is quite a lot. So, and it's got a solid 5 heat. So yeah. Party pepper update. When grilled, each player chooses 1 chili on their plate to trash and summons the top chili of the deck onto their plates. So when you play this, it's a party. Everyone can choose to trash 1 on their plate, and then everyone's going to be summoning a random chili. This is kind of like the Santa, except the Santa speeds up the game by 1 turn, whereas the party pepper doesn't. But yeah, I think this is going to be like an all-time favorite for a lot of players, because you get to pick and choose which ones you don't want, and you also get to get a random chili, which is always fun. We have the pickled peppers and chili egg. When trashed while plated, pickled pepper says, place 2 chilies from your hand onto your plate. So this is like a really fun one that you want to have on your plate, and then you can trash it with anything. And if you do, like with a dragon or the chili sword, you get 2 chilies from your hand. And it's powerful, but you also have to have the right chilies in your hand to get as a benefit. And the chili egg is 0 heat. When trashed by a chili, summon the top chili of the deck onto this chili's owner's plate. So you never know what you're going to get, but if you get this, you get a free summon, and it's really satisfying to get it off. So the chili shroom update. When dining, if the chili to the right has negative heat, invert it to positive heat. So it kind of got a nerf because it was very flexible in what it can do. If you had like a 1 or 2 or 3, you can oftentimes have so many different mathematic like equations that you can do at the end of the game, just like the chef chili. Whereas now it only cares if it's a negative heat, and then you can invert it to a positive heat. And you can still position this in a way where you don't have to force yourself to get that negative to a positive. So this is still a very powerful, flexible chili. We have the Chilicula update. When grilled, merge the mildest chili on your plate with this chili. So simply when you play this, you're just getting rid of any negative effects that a chili might have, like the chili goat or something like that. And yeah, I think this is just like a solid 5 heat that also lets you kind of get rid of negative texts. But it also slows you down for one turn because you're kind of like not really getting a new body onto the board, and you can catch opponents off with this ability. We have this potentially really toxic silly chili update here. -2 heat. When grilled, return an opponent's chili on their grill back to their hand. So this means that whatever they played, especially if it's the last turn, they're not going to be able to get that last card onto their plate. And ways to get around this is by just really powerful grill abilities that summon stuff or something like that. You might end up helping your opponent by doing this. And the downside is the -2 heat. But yeah, this is like a potential really powerful chili to use on the last turn. If you are guaranteed like to be still like under 21 and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to this chili potentially ruining friendships, but it is the silly chili after all. We have the side chili here. This was one of the toughest and probably the most redesigned ability, but I'm really happy with where it's sitting. It's 5 heat. It says when grilled, reveal an opponent's hand. You freeze one of their chilies into their freezer and freeze one into yours. You get to steal one of the stuff that they're holding onto that they might really like, and you force them to freeze something that they don't want to keep. So this ability is just gonna like be very thematically mind controlling. Before it was all about like rearranging their chilies and disrupting their TNT and stuff like that, but in the end it just proved to be very clunky. So I think this design that happens right away when you play this is a lot more interesting and easier to bounce around. We have the sleepy chili update. When dining, swap this chili with the chili in your freezer. So you could play this and then kind of forget about it, and towards the end of the game you can freeze another chili and then get it swap with the sleepy chili at the end. So it's a very flexible thing. Thematically it happens at the end of the game. I think this is like a pretty fun one to just play out. We have the stonks chili, which is very exciting. When dining, double this chili's heat for each other chili you have. So if you have 5 chilies on your plate, this becomes a 16 heat chili, which is very, very high. But if you're not able to get 5 chilies, then it becomes an 8 and 4 and 2 and 1. And if you merge chilies onto this stonks chili, and it becomes a -16 times whatever the number. So this has a potential to be one of the hottest chilies in the entire game. But you also have to be very careful about the doubling, because it doesn't, if your opponent is able to summon stuff onto your plate and you didn't want that to be there, all of a sudden you're potentially overheating. So yeah. And last but not least, we're at the end of the list, the one true chili to end it all. 1 heat, because it's the one true chili. When dining, if all of your other chilies are milder than this chili, trash all your other chilies and give this chili plus 20 heat. So I don't know how you're going to achieve it. So if you have 1 heat chili and this is your hottest chili in the entire game, you're able to either add more chili heat onto this one, or you can trash your other ones, or just keep the negatives. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. If you're able to have that happen, you're gonna have 21 heat chili on your plate at the end of the game, and if you win with this one, you're just awesome. But yeah, your opponent's gonna have so many ways to disrupt you and make sure that doesn't happen. So it's gonna be about the man games, and I'm really excited to see this one come and mess up the players. So yeah, that is all the chilies. That was a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun playing and watching these updates. And these updates are gonna go live pretty much today on the Tabletop Simulator version. So let me know if you're looking to play, or if you're looking for other players. You can always find them on the Discord channel for ChiliJack. And yeah, stay tuned for more update videos on this like this. Please go ahead and subscribe to the video and the channel. I'll be uploading more video contents just like this one and future gaming content for ChiliJack onto this channel. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, thanks friends for staying together with me through that huge video. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourself. Bye.